Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope everyone's doing well this week. Once again, our weather is being really interesting. We got super cold and it shouldn't last very long. So anyway, I'm a little discombobulated again this week. I'm trying to get back into the course of things. So basically, I'll start off with what I did last week. I went ahead and dispersed the $1,000 from last week. So that would be on April 10th because I like to figure things out on Friday, and then usually by Monday I do the action on it, is what I've started doing now. So I figure things out on Friday and then do the actions on that Monday. So last week on we had $1,000, and then what I did with that thousand was I went ahead and I applied, so it's 700 to a Visa, which is at a credit union, and that normally has a $200 payment on that. So that actually has that bumped into the end of May. So I'm thinking, I know in the past I've said what a paying this card is, but at the same time, it does bump ahead each month, and it's just, I just need to have a cushion in that account for when I pay the bills and such. And I think that's what my problem kind of was I was running without a cushion. And so also in that same credit union, we had that small revolving credit for 247. So we went ahead and paid that one off. And then I did go ahead and just put that last $53 into savings. And that's kind of keeping a cushion in mind. That way, if bills come up, and I would have just a little bit of cushion there. So after I made this Visa payment, that meant there was it 700, around 700 available after you took the interest out. And then honestly, there wasn't that much interest. So I mean, another key thing about this Visa is it's at 10.15. So I mean, you're having really good interest rate compared to what is out there right now. So it makes more sense if I'm going to be messing with cards and paying bills, and to be using this one and just let the other ones pay down. And eventually, I think for future, I think we just want to be using the Visa, and that small Citibank is what we want to end up with, and probably using the Target just for the convenience of the 5% discount on that. So basically last week we did that $1,000 where once again we did 700 to the Visa, 247 we paid off that small revolving credit, and then $53 to that savings. And what's really nice is all of these items are tied together. There's also a checking account there. So all these items are tied together. So it's really easy to use this account as long as I have the funds in the account. I think that was what my problem was. I wasn't running with a cushion. So we will work on that, and I think this will make it a lot easier to actually be using this Visa then. So we get into what is now week 2 of Voyage 18, and then essentially what I did was, let's see, I did do 500 for the Citibank. And then I put Berry Bank here because basically I have a couple different bank accounts I'm using, and it's just kind of my nickname for that one, where I used 1,000 out of this account, and then because I had the Citibank tied to making the payments from that, so I did 500 to the Citibank, and then I paid some bills, and I actually did those out of the Visa, and that would have been, we had the electric bill and the trash bill. And the electric was like $91 or $92, so I'm just going to do a flat 100. And then the trash bill, I believe, is a flat 56. So we will take that from this amount and pay to the Visa. And I also did, what was it, 185 to that Discover 2. And then once again, that's one of our last remaining balance transfers that's due back in September. So now we're down to a balance of 9,000 even on that. So Let's see, what else did I feel like there was another item I had done with that. But maybe that was it. Maybe it's because I was paying the bills through the Visa too. So I think what I need to do is keep in mind to use 156 to put back on the Visa, since I paid the electric and the trash from that. And then also, I think I wanted to get up to date on some of the loans too, to see where we're standing on that. So we'll go ahead and update those. All right, so we have a line of credit 1, and that's at a 7.5%. And that is currently at 11,700. Well, that's not a very good 11. Okay, we'll turn this into 11,760.34. And then it has 239.66 available. So once again, I just want to get more room into these, and honestly not be using so many different accounts to run stuff through, because it's getting to be a lot to keep track of some of this. So with the last payment that went through, so the monthly payment is $119.21. And once again, this is kind of one of those odd ones where the payment was going down each month, and now it's became a stationary amount for the last, oh gosh, I think it's been 6 months now where it's been the same amount. So it hasn't changed any. So that's why I think these loans, and plus I said they don't bump ahead, so it's like they became stationary on, I mean, like we can still take out, but the payment is actually due the first of every month no matter what. Like this $119.21 would be due the first of every month. Even if I had paid on the 30th, I would still have to do that payment on the 1st. So on the last payment, I did $75.19 in interest. And then there was $44.02 for principal. And then we have the line of credit 2. And this one's at a 6.74. And I think originally when I had gotten these were at 3. And then we had that crazy where they bumped up to like doubled in the price. So they're not as beneficial as they were when we had first gotten them. So we're at $12,145.27, and then we have $354.73 available, and then last payment was $123.65, and then we have $69.83 of interest. There's $53.82 of principal. And then we go on to the line of credit 3, and that is also at 7.5%. And that is currently $12,246.68. And then available is $253.32. And that has a payment of $124.37. We did $78.30 of interest last month. Or actually, it would have been this month because it would have been on the 1st. And then $46.07 was the principal on that. Then we have our, I guess I'm kind of tied in the new loan with this too, because it's all at the same place. And we went from a loan 1 to now it calls itself a loan 3. So, and that has a starting point of $12,788, and then there's $241 due each month, and that's at a 4.75%. And then that's one where later on down the road, after we make more payments on it, we could actually take money out to consolidate into this. So it's actually a loan, but it's easy to negotiate the loan on this one. It's an easy one to do with, where you can just call up the credit union and they can start the paperwork right away, kind of easy parts. So we have those loans updated, and while we're at it, I'll go ahead and let's see. I know I had the student loans. I had just, okay, here's, guys, I need to get better organized, so hopefully this is my last crazy week, but, oh, that's okay. So it's student loan A. We still have $5,145.25 on that. And then student loan B is at $3,226.94. And then those are both at 4.5%. And then this one has, it's about 110 on that, and this one is close to, I think, 75 or 76 for the payments each month. And I think that's all for the update that I wanted to do. And like, I had that suggestion of probably just tackling the smaller items first, so we did do that. We had that small 247 for that revolving credits. We do have that taken care of, so that's zeroed out. We still have the furnace for the 300, and then we have Target for the 276.96. So I think we'll go ahead and focus on getting these two small ones taken care of. That way we have less payments each month. And also another thing I'm starting to do is I'm working on cash at the grocery stores now. I was originally using my cards, but gets to be a point when you I find myself where I'm more don't buy as much if I take cash with me versus a card. A card I kind of toss it in the cart and check out, but when I have the cash, I stop and think. So anyway, I think, yeah, we're going to get those small items taken care of first, and then we will tackle the higher rate credit cards, which I think the smaller Citibank and that one Discover would be the next two, and then we'll simultaneously be using the Visa on that too. So I think that should work out as a good plan. And I'm working on getting a new budget made out too. So I should get that out shortly as well. So let me know if you have any questions or comments. Please like and subscribe to follow my debt journey. And I think the code word this week will be free bird, because earlier this week my cat had caught a bird and he was taking it into the yard, and I noticed it was still alive, so I distracted the cat and the bird got away and flew, and he looks like he was going to be safe and have a much longer life. So I was really happy to have saved a bird. So we'll use free bird as our code word. And I will talk to you again next week, and I think maybe I'll start doing my videos later, because now that the time change happened, the days are, I'm getting really bad about keeping track of the time because it's daylight out. And anyway, I think I'll probably just have my videos out a little bit later, or maybe I might start getting better and maybe try and do them on Saturday and release them on the same time on Sunday. So anyway, we'll get back into the routine of things, but thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you next week. Thank you. Bye.